This is ECFS 1001 History and Philosophy of Early Childhood Development. E-Tutor Colleen Manzi. Our theme is Evolution of Early Childhood Care and Education. I am Akila Beckles, the group's leader, and the members are Kimberly Saladin, Shahida Ramdas, and Kana Kaur. Trinidad is a small twin island country located in the south of the Caribbean. During the post-war period of the early 20th century, economic and social changes worldwide increased the demand of childcare and development services outside of the home. Before that, supportive family structures such as extended family traditionally provided for the childcare needs of the working family members. There were also custodial childcare facilities for working-class parents, which sprang up in response to demand and were usually established by private individuals, benevolent organizations like Child Welfare League, and institutions such as churches. The first private nursery school was opened in 1934. By the 1950s, a proliferation of research in child development and learning in developed countries acknowledged the benefits to later school success of planned early childhood education opportunities. Regional and sub-regional training activities for early childhood practitioners were executed by institutions such as the Regional Preschool Development Center, renamed in 1986 the Caribbean Child Development Center. By 1970, Trinidad launched its first government preschool project at La Pastura Community College, which later led to establishment of 15 such centers in 1993. By 1974, the government established a preschool unit in the Ministry of Education.
Education is high on the agenda of the government of Trinidad and Tobago. Access to quality early childhood services came on the front burner of governmental policy. Hence, policies were developed and structures began to be put in place to ensure quality ECCE services. In 1970, the launch of the first government preschool project, assisted by BVLF at La Pastora Community Center, led to the establishment of 15 such centers by 1993. In 1973, Serval establishes their first preschool center in Laventille, Trinidad. In 2006, early childhood education was included in the education policy paper by UNESCO's Education for All initiative. In 2006 to 2011, the ministry informs that all practitioners at the ECCE level have or will receive certification. In 2006, the ECCE curriculum guide was developed. ECCE practitioners were also trained to use the guide of the Ministry of Education. And in 2007, Education Policy states requirements for ECCE centers. In 2018, presently there are 138 fully operational government and government-assisted ECCE centers, 63 Serval centers, and 691 privately run ECCE centers.
According to John Dewey's hands-on approach theory, children soak up knowledge and retain it for use when they are spontaneously induced to look into matters of compelling interest to themselves. They progress fastest in learning, not through being mechanically drilled in prefabricated materials, but by doing work, experimenting with things, changing them in purposive ways. As you can see in the picture, the children is playing in the sandbox. They will develop their fine motor skills as well as learning how to fill, pour, empty, mix, and mold using the materials in the sandbox. Children must interact with their environment in order to adapt and learn. According to Yuri Brenner, the ecological system theory holds that we encounter different environments throughout our lifespan that may influence our behavior in various degrees. These systems include the microsystem, the mesosystem, the exosystem, the macrosystem, and the chronosystem. The microsystem is the system closest to the person and the one in which they have direct contact with, example, friends, family, teachers. The mesosystem, the interaction between the different parts of a person's microsystem, example, the child's relationship between his parents and his teachers, as the parent takes an active role in the school, such as attending parent-teacher conference and volunteering in the classroom. This have a positive impact on the child's development. The exosystem refers to a setting that does not involve the person as an active participant but still affects them. Example, a child being affected by the parent getting a promotion or losing their job. This situation can impact the child's development. The macrosystem is the cultural environment in which the person lives and all the other system affects them. A child who has grown up with the belief of education is an important attribute will be focused on succeeding in the classroom. The chronosystem, the dimension of the time in relation to a person's development. For example, a death of a parent will affect a 3-year-old differently from a teenager. A 3-year-old child may find it hard to understand that death is permanent. They are at a stage of magical thinking, for example, thinking that a dead person will come alive again, whereas the teenager may find the intensity of emotions overwhelming and not be able to find words or ways to talk about them with others. Bereaved children and teenagers will need ongoing attention, reassurance, and support. It is not unusual for grief to resurface later on, even well after the death. This can happen as they move through different life milestones as they develop as individuals.
An early childhood center in the community allows struggling parents an opportunity to provide their children with an early childhood education, preventing what we call a street child. This would keep children off the streets. Parents would be able to get employed to better provide for their children during the day, while their children are occupied learning and keeping them from getting in trouble, disrupting the community, and a chance of a better future, as the center provides pre-primary school learning and in some cases provides special care to orphans and other vulnerables. This provides employment closer to home for qualified unemployed persons so that they can build their work experience without the hassle of commuting to another community. Parents are comforted as they know the teacher in some way. Being community-based, these services have a reputation for providing staff with better working conditions and pay than within the private sector. Community-based services usually employ qualified teachers.
Jamaica has been promoting and investing in the development of early childhood care and education for quite some time now. In 2003, the Early Childhood Commission was formed, and in 2006, the Early Childhood Act was passed to ensure that the quality of early childhood services and programs across Jamaica were adequate. In 2007, the Early Childhood Commission's registration drive commenced. All early childhood institutions would have to apply for a certificate of registration under the guidance of 12 standards. The development of infrastructure, staff training, curriculum, and policies is included within these 12 standards. Standards 4 and 5 gives guidelines as it relates to infrastructure. Standard 4 speaks to the actual building, and Standard 5 gives guidelines as it relates to the furnishings of an ECI. Along with this, the government of Jamaica has also allotted $30 million during the 2018 to 2019 fiscal year, a part of which will go towards renovating infant schools and creating infant departments in primary schools. Standard 1, Staffing, outlines the qualifications necessary for an early childhood practitioner, as well as specific annual trainings that each practitioner must partake in. These trainings are provided by the Ministry of Education and some are even free of cost. Some examples of the trainings are pediatric first aid and child abuse. Because of these trainings, early childhood practitioners are equipped to correctly deal with basic first aid situations and spot the signs of abuse. Standard 2, Development and Educational Programs provide guidelines on educational planning. This standard ensures that each institutional educational program meets the language, physical, cognitive, creative, social and emotional, spiritual, cultural, and school readiness needs of each child. In addition to the guidelines, program evaluations are done to ensure the quality of early childhood services being offered. Standard 11, Administration, outlines all the policies necessary for the operation of an early childhood institution. Some examples of these policies are a health policy, a nutrition policy, a safety policy, an employment policy, and so on. The development of early childhood education in Jamaica has been an ongoing process and will continue to be as we work towards our goal of having every early childhood institution meeting the 12 standards and becoming certified.
In conclusion, after each of us discussed our various topics from 1 to 5 in the agenda, we learned just how important early childhood development is in the Caribbean. We learned about the evolution of early childhood development in Trinidad and Tobago and its importance to the government. We learned about the theologies of John Dewey and Huey Bronfenbrenner and how they affected change in the early childhood development teachings and methods. We discussed 4 benefits of having an ECC in the community, and finally we discussed the advancements being made in early childhood development in Jamaica.